Hello, everyone, and welcome to the East Asia Summit, or welcome back if you've been following the sessions on day one. It's my great pleasure today to be speaking with Steve Yang from BenQ Taiwan. Hello, Steve.
Hello, Lucy. Hello, everyone.
In just a moment, I'm going to hand over to Steve to give a little bit of background about what BenQ is doing in Taiwan and some of the work that they're doing in empowering teachers. But just before we do, my name is Lucy Blakemore. I'm the Vice President for Global Insights at Holland IQ. And this is one of a number of interviews with educational technology providers, founders, CEOs, people who are really in the heart of their industry in these geographies that we're covering. So as one of these, I would love to hand over to Steve to take us through some really interesting background on what's happening in the work that you're doing. So over to you, Steve.
All right, thanks, Lucy, and hello, everyone. I'm Steve Yan. I'm Managing Director for BenQ Taiwan. I'm leading the team in Taiwan as a BenQ to have a marketing sales service in Taiwan market for BenQ product. So today I'm gonna share a little bit about our what we're doing in the Taiwan market, and my slides or presentation will be empowering and bringing smart education into the classroom. So first of all, I want to introduce a little bit about BenQ. So BenQ, when we establish this company, and our vision for this company is bringing enjoyment and quality to life. So we focus on different areas that like home or work office or education or like color equipment. So today I'm gonna share a little bit about our product in the education market. And our vision or our goal is to shape the future of learning. So I'm gonna give a quick look for our product. So our product offering for the education market is hardware. For sure, it's an interactive flat panel. And we have three series like the slide shows. And our solution also includes a software like the left side, the AMS or Easy Write or InstaShare 2 software. And also we have a little bit accessories to help teachers or students to achieve the smart learning or smart teaching. And we are not only doing providing the education products in the Taiwan market, we are also devote ourselves to the smart classroom throughout the world. So for example, this slide shows that we are also doing this kind of product in Australia. This is the image in, I believe it's in March or April in Australia that an event host in Our Lady of Pines School, and we are install the IFP or the panels. It's more easy to say this kind of product. The panels in the schools, and we also host some like teaching and learning activities to help teachers and the students to learn how to better use the product. And so today I will share more in the Taiwan market how we do or what we see for the interactive flat panels or panels in the smart classroom. And we hope that we can enrich the teaching and learning by doing that. So first of all, I want to talk about what is a smart education. It's a tool or it's an objective. In Taiwan, the education in Taiwan is constantly changing. The people live in Taiwan may know that the curriculum guidance for the 12 years basic education is constantly changed. And also this year we have the new tablet plan for each student in Taiwan K-12 will have a tablet in the school or in the classroom. So today, this year, I think it's August, it just finished the installation. So students or teachers just got a tablet but don't know how to use. And also in 2030, Taiwan will become a bilingual nation, which we need to learn Mandarin or Chinese and also English. So in the classroom, teachers need to learn how to teach a lot of courses in English. It's quite challenging for the teachers. Also, metaverse for sure is a hot topic in Taiwan. So there are a lot of topics, one after another, that teacher need to chase on. And before we know what kind of the goals we need to chase, I want to share this slide that Jeff Bezos say, before we understand what is going to be changed, we should know what is not going to be changed. So the things stays the same is more important for everyone, no matter in the business or the school. And in this case, I want to share the TED Talk from the Sir Ken Robinson. He say that education is about teaching and learning. So the thing won't be changed in the school or classroom is teaching and the learning. And the teachers are the lifeblood of the success of the schools. And no learning and no education. Because I came back from US in 2020, and I learned a little bit in the COVID-19, the school gave my daughter a timetable a timetable for the whole week that she should learn. And I as a parent, I see that tools can be diversified. That learning is just an objective. So I don't know, you guys can see the screen or the icon here. So you can see a lot of icons that Google Classroom or Pablo or YouTube or another tool that I also cannot see it. That a lot of the learning objectives that the school or teacher want my daughter or want the students to learn, but teachers can using a lot of digital tool to encourage the students to learn by it. So from it, I learned tools can be diversified, and tool is just a tool, or equipment is just a tool to helping teachers or students to learn, to have better learning. And in Taiwan, after we understand this goal, teaching or learning is the whole objective. Then I want to talk about the current situation or challenge or dilemma in Taiwan. The challenge in Taiwan is that in the classroom or school, sometimes that teacher or schools has a lot of different brands or IFP or even tablet in the schools because of the central procurement policy. Sometimes that school doesn't have enough IFP in every classroom, or this year they have brand A, next year they have brand B. So for teachers or the schools, it's very hard for them to learn how to use the equipment. Another challenge is that in Taiwan, we think that there are lack of the teaching plans for the digital tools. So the government or the manufacturer provide the equipment or tools to the school or teachers, but lack of the using interactive teaching materials is a challenge for the teacher to conduct the interactive, like smart learning or teaching. Also, the variation of the connection between hardware, like tablet to IFP or tablet to computer or computer to IFP, is quite challenging in Taiwan. And because that most of the schools in Taiwan, we only have one person in the school who is responsible in helping implement the smart learning or information technology in the school. And also the person, normally he or she is also a teacher at the same time. So lack of manpower is also an issue in Taiwan. So teachers may unfamiliar with the IFP, or they will have equipment failure in the school, and they don't know how to solve the issue because they lack of the manpower. Then even though we have a lot of challenge in the schools, but we still want to encourage the teachers to utilize the panels or IFP in the classrooms. So here I want to leverage model or tool to let teachers or people in Taiwan to know how to introduce the digital tools into the classroom. It's called SAMR, because the information technology, when we phase in information technology into the classroom, there are some stages. So first of all will be substitution. Secondly will be augmentation, then will be modification, then will be redefinition. In the base case that we can use the tools to redefine how we teach or how students to learn. But normally we need to gradually to start with S, then A, then N, and then R. So we hope that by doing that, by the stage-by-stage phasing plan, teachers in Taiwan can know how to utilize the digital tool or IFP in the classroom. So first of all, for sure, the IFP can substitute the traditional blackboard. Here, I don't need to say too much. Then having the interactive flat panels that sometimes we can say bye-bye to the speakers, because we can do the like English testing through the panels. Or we can use Google Classroom or camera or cell phone or panels to augment the learning or teaching objective. Also, we can using multiple tools to achieve the learning objective by like pre-class, during class, and after class by using the different tools, including maybe laptop or tablet or panels. Except the examples I mentioned above, we also believe that there are more possibilities in the future, like no paper in learning, or the more connection between devices or content with IFP, or easier to do the PBL learning. Then after talk about a little bit about the possibility for using the IFP, I want to talk about the mindset of implementing the new technology into the classroom. We believe that no matter what kind of the tools or equipment when we face in or provide to the schools, that we need to keep an eye on the 4 key points. The first one will be healthy. For example, in IFP, people are care about the eye care or the germ prevention. So the panels or the tablet better to have the germ prevention or eye care function. And then the secondly, like I mentioned above, that because we are lack of the manpower in the school, so easy to use is very important in the equipment or the software to help the teacher to be able to use those tools. And also those tools must be easy to be controlled or managed. Like I mentioned, only one person, he need to manage so many tools or tablet in the school. So a better way to manage the tools is very important. Then fourth is that the manufacturer or brands must constantly to empowering the teachers and the students, to train the teachers to let them know how to use the products or the skills. So for example, we believe that we need to continuously to empower teachers. So we set up different kind of classes. In Mandarin, we call 科技库课学堂 or 科技库课私塾, which is in school training or online training or seminar to help the students or teachers or IT manager in school to let them to understand how to use our product. So in this slide, we have like there are many pictures shows that BenQ has a Cook Tech symposium in school, and we go into school to share how to use the product, and we talk with teachers and know what's their pain point and share how to utilize the product with them. And then we also have the online courses, because the spread of the how to use is important. So using the online tool is very, very important for us. Now also we we are trying to do some symposium seminar to have different topics, not only about the IFP, but also about the technology trend or education trend to introduce to the teachers. And also, we also try some event that in the school club, like when students want to learn the robot skill, it's not the normal courses like Chinese or English or mathematics. It's more like after school activities, and we are utilizing this kind of the time to have different perspective to share how to use the product and how to use the product to teaching the different thing. So in the end, like I share above that, we believe that when introducing technology to the teachers or schools, we need to use the different technology or different software. And also, we need to combine with the traditional teaching because, like I mentioned, the product or digital tool is just a tool in the teaching. And manufacturer need to give the support to the teachers. And also we need to gradually to change or share how can we achieve the target or how can we use the product to the teachers. So gradually teacher may change their teaching method to enable the students to increase their learning efficiency and to achieve the smart learning. So that's all for my slides today. Quickly, I go through how BenQ see the smart learning or smart teaching and what kind of the things that BenQ provide to the Taiwan education market. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Steve. I've learned a lot already about a market I was very unfamiliar with. And I think it's really interesting that you talk, of course, not only about the technology, which is the obvious part of what BenQ does, but also everything from government policy to the organizational dynamics of schools, to teacher capability and what they are confident and not confident about in classrooms. And I'm curious about the capabilities that you have in BenQ to be able to do that. I know you spend a lot of time in classrooms yourself, but is that also a typical part of other people at BenQ? How do you keep this knowledge and cover all of those aspects?
Okay, it's a tough and long question.
Sorry.
But long story short, it's okay. Long story short, that when I had a new assignment from US, like I mentioned, I came back from US to Taiwan in 2020, and I saw a lot of installation of panels in Taiwan classroom already that BenQ sold to the schools or government in the past years. But I see the situation that teachers may not really utilize the panels. They may only connect the HDMI to treat the IFP as a display only. So we start the event, we go into school, but in the beginning it's quite hard because we also don't know how to talk with teachers because we are away from the school like 40 years or 30 years. We don't know how teachers teach the students nowadays. So we try to talk with the teachers and learn how they teach. Then we also hire some people that from the education industry. And very luckily, we got some new members joining BenQ, who is familiar with education industry, the content industry, because in Taiwan the textbook need to be revised every year. So we hire the people from that industry so she is very familiar with the current situation in the schools. So that's the way we start.
Yeah, great. That's really helpful. And so it's those people who are helping to demonstrate with teachers, for example,
yes,
how it can be integrated with the curriculum. So you're staying so close to the government curriculum that you're able to show how those things interconnect.
Yes, Yes, because previously as a hardware or even software provider, we only let me put it in this way. We are more familiar with our product. We are like a skilled person. We are like a technical manager. So we can say, hey, you can connect the panels with your tablet. That's all. You can connect Wi-Fi. You can do A, you can do B, you can do C. But for the teacher, is that why I should know these skills? Where should we use this kind of the feature in my class? So we don't know how to talk with teachers. It's not saying that we really don't know how to talk. It's that we are talking about the technology knowledge perspective. Then while we or after we have in this kind of the group or people or members in BenQ, we know how they teach. We know the curriculum they are using, or we know their challenge in the classroom. So we try to demonstrate our features or product in their way of teaching. So no matter which kind of the features that we are providing, we try to use like the way teacher to teach in the real classroom to demonstrate to the teachers. So hopefully that will help the teachers to understand the features easier.
Yeah, and it's interesting the way that you describe what teachers are less confident with in terms of technology. It sounds like they're not getting access to much general training about how to integrate technology. So it's not part of teacher training, for example. When you talk about more traditional teaching, what are you comparing this with? What's traditional and where could they be?
Because in Asian culture, or we say in Taiwan culture, that we have one curriculum guideline for the books. So there are a lot of, I think it's 4 or 5 publisher can, based on the curriculum to, I don't know how to describe the term, generate or write the every year's textbook. But it's more like one-way teaching in our culture. Because in OECD, one of the OECD survey, I believe is in 2018, Taiwan teachers in Taiwan is the lowest percentage to using the digital tool to teach or learning in the classroom. So I believe it's a cultural thing or the curriculum thing or the skill thing that teacher hesitate to use the digital tool.
That's really interesting because I think I'm guilty of imagining, because Taiwan is so technologically advanced in so many ways, it's easy to assume that teachers would feel confident, but it sounds like that's a really big gap. And that's obviously why you're talking so much about all of these different support mechanisms, the courses, the events, all of those kind of things.
Right.
Yeah. And so how do schools respond when you come in and you're offering workshops or after school things or events? What kind of responses are you getting from schools in Taiwan?
It's a little bit funny that in the beginning that some school even reject we go into the school because they are worried that, are you coming to sell me product? Because BenQ say, hey, can I go to your school? They will say, are you coming to sell our product? Sell us your product? And we say, no. We are only doing the service. Because in the central procurement, that government has the rule that I believe is 1 year we must provide 5 times of the like a training or sharing to the schools, but it's for like whole city. So not every teachers can join this kind of the training. So a lot of, I believe more than 80% of the teachers didn't have chance to join that kind of the training. So we talk to the school that we are only providing an extra service or extra training to your school and school by school. And also some teachers in the school, they don't know how to access BenQ. It's also quite funny or interesting because BenQ also doing a lot of the B2C product. We sell monitor or projectors. So to me, service is a for sure thing that we need to provide, and we even don't aware or even didn't aware that teachers doesn't know how to access us, because we have email, phones, or instant messages on our website that customer or consumer can access us, but teachers like didn't like dare to access or call us to service. So in the beginning, it's a little bit challenging to say, hey, I want to go into service. But one after one, when we have some like case studies, then it's more easier to be able to go into the schools.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's a process, and you said that during your presentation. You expect it will take some time to go through this journey
Right.
with people,
Right.
because everybody's learning, it sounds.
Right.
Yeah. I would love to hear more about other things that you have observed between your different experiences. So I know you were in the US, for example. You're looking at OECD data. What other interesting differences do you see between Taiwan and how other countries are integrating technology into teaching?
I can't, how to say that. I only observe as a parent or father in the US, so I'm not education expert to be able to share the whole like perspective for this kind of thing. But in the US, I see that a lot of flexible of the learning or teaching in when I see my daughter to them, because for example that I remember there was an homework that the teacher assigned my daughter to learn, is that about voting. So she told the students what is vote and why to vote, and the teacher asked my daughter to simulate a vote at home, because other days the COVID-19 we learn from home. And so my daughter need to do a poster to I believe it's vote the leader of the classroom or something like that. And one choice is her, another choice is her mother, and she need to persuade me or her or my wife or her brother to vote her mother. So she need to provide the reason why should I vote her mother, right? So the whole process or journey I learned from the US education is quite different than Taiwan, because in Taiwan we will say, okay, what is vote, why you vote, then done, all in the textbook.
Yeah.
Then as a 10 or she was 7 years old at the time. As a 7 years old or 8 years old children, they cannot understand what is vote by reading the books. They only see the adults to vote, but they don't know why to vote in the real life. So I see that different tools are very important in the teaching and learning journey, or say path. But in the Asia culture or Taiwan culture, we have so many courses or classes in whole day. My daughter start her class from, I believe it's 7:50 to 4. I believe it's to 4. So many classes or courses that they don't have too much time to think differently other than the textbook. Then lead another problem in the classroom, that teacher also won't have too much time to using different tool to teach, because they have too many courses in a day to be achieved. They don't have the flexibility to have some different discussion or exploring. That's my very, how to say, little finding.
Yeah, but I think there are some really interesting broader insights there for people who are less familiar with Taiwan, because all of these things impact how technology then fits into the process. You need to understand those foundational beliefs about learning and teaching. And so that, I guess, neatly takes us maybe to the last question, which is looking to the future. And you talk about the future of smart technology and smart classrooms. Where do you hope Taiwan's classrooms will be in 5 or 10 years' time in terms of bringing technology in?
Like you mentioned, that Taiwan has the image from the other countries that we are like a lot of computer tablet, right? The hardware. So right now we are facing the government is facing in the hardware into the classroom. That's the first step. And then although I talk about a lot of challenge, no matter culture or skills or manpower issue in the classroom, but I'm still hoping that after the first step, then while the teacher has all the equipment in the classroom, they will gradually to learn how to use, or they will be forced to use some of the equipment or tools in the classroom. So after 5 years, I'm hoping that every teachers or every classroom will have some digital learning or smart learning happening naturally in their teaching or learning process. That's my hope. I hope one day BenQ can help them to achieve that as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Steve, for taking the time to share that background and some of your own stories as well. I think it's really clear that time that you spend in the classroom is really insightful, and I know lots of people will be interested to find out more. So anybody who wants to find out, you can look at what BenQ is doing with blended learning and teaching in classrooms, not just in Taiwan, but around the world. So we encourage you to do that. And thanks everybody for listening. Thanks, Steve, for joining us.
Thanks, Lucy. Thank you.